insurance companies so that the right amount is done and everything is happening. And therein, the growth, the whole Obamacare is revolving around that, the communication between the systems. So when we are learning from them, we are doing a lot of work for US. Why India always feel like, let's wait for some time, let this happen in India for another 5-10 years, let's get the right cause happening, and then we'll start trying to resolve that issue. Why wait for that? Why not start doing it when we know it's happening on the other front?
So the related question, Bridge, is one sees that technology is a cornerstone of many of the stuff. Information technology is pretty much at the heart of many things that you do in providing healthcare services. What do you have to say on the healthcare IT? Because a lot of our entrepreneurs in the healthcare IT space. What is your take on that? In the US here, where do you see that marketplace heading?
There is significant potential. I mean, even in an advanced market like the US, the use of IT in the healthcare sector is minimal. There is, I think, a basic resistance, not from anyone else, but mostly from doctors, who are, sort of averse to technology. That's how, they have actually practiced for so long that they have sort of, the younger generation obviously is a lot more comfortable with using IT than, the older generation is. So in the US, Obamacare trying to enforce whether through, incentives or disincentives for hospitals and for clinics to adopt healthcare IT has been successful to a certain extent. But how much efficiency has that introduced in the healthcare marketplace? That's a big question. The challenge in the US healthcare market is, there are so many systems in place that it's very difficult to coordinate amongst them. And there's so many players, from payers to providers to TPAs to self-insured to, equipment providers. Most of their systems don't talk. So there is absolutely significant potential for healthcare IT. But the adoption is what I see as the biggest challenge from the healthcare community.
I want to go to the Express Clinic part of your story, but before that, your business card talks about Lotus Capital. What is Lotus Capital?
Lotus Capital is basically a family office, which is after I sold my company, I formed a family office to make investments into various companies. Having expertise in the healthcare field, my interest obviously is in the healthcare or healthcare IT related areas. These are companies I typically try to fund. So it's basically it's a growth capital that I provide.
Okay. Again, just before we go to the Express story, the telehealth company that you started got a strategic investor and you sold. So in a sense, that was like a exit story for you. So first of all, why you sought out a strategic investor? What did a strategic investor do for you? And when you got it, why did you exit? And what some stories around how did you find the your potential acquirer? How that whole thing works out, because that's the nirvana for an entrepreneur in some sense, right? So.
Sure. So as I mentioned, when we formed MD India, we realized there's potential in the US market. So we split the company into two parts and formed TILA that focused exclusively on the US market. And one thing unique about the US healthcare market is it's very, very difficult to penetrate. People are extremely risk averse and they're looking for experience. So finding the first client is the most difficult thing in the healthcare space in the US. So from that perspective, instead of going for a private equity or other financial investor, I decided to pursue a strategic investor, and who could open doors for us in the US. And also, we were working in the Indian market, so we did not really understand the US healthcare market fully. So a strategic investor or a partner would definitely help us get that expertise and experience in the US market, which is what it finally did. So we found one, we partnered with them, and then all strategic partners come with their own challenges. So I actually bought them out in 2010, and then
Who was the strategic
it's a company
partner?
called Adaptis, which is owned by Community Health Plan of Washington.
Okay.
So I bought them on 2010, and then in 2011, to answer your question as to why did I decide to exit, is that's a very interesting question that will come up as some of us here will pursue their dreams and build their companies. Is what happens when your biggest client comes knocking on the door. So that's the biggest challenge you'll face. Is okay, fine. You've done business with this company for the last several years. They account for 50% of your revenue, and now they want to get into your space. So what do you do?
So your customer wanted to be a competitor, or you wanted to buy you out?
Customer wanted to be a competitor,
Okay.
so they paid a significant premium to buy us out.
Okay. So they entered the same space, and that.
They were a technology provider,
Okay.
so we used the technology to provide services in the US. They turned out to be 50% of our revenue, and then they wanted to get into the same space as we were in, which is because on the technology side there wasn't any growth. The growth was on the services side, so they wanted to get into the services space. So it worked out well for both parties, and that's, I think, as you grow your companies, you'll have these challenges, you'll have these opportunities. Sometimes it's going to be a challenge for you, sometimes it's going to be an opportunity.
What was the size of that exit? I mean, what is it? If it's public information, what is the valuation that you got for your company? And
We got around $30 million.
okay, good. So, and that money came back as Lotus Capital, pretty much. Right?
As Lotus Capital investment.
Great. So I just want to move. And this is very interesting, and I know that we are actually consuming a lot of time. But taking on from the question that was there about the healthcare at the OPD level, and tell us a little bit about your perspective on that and the birth of Express Clinic as a concept, and what is it that you're doing in that space?
Yeah. So being the largest TPA, we have seen the healthcare space in India, very up close and personal. So one of the things we found was the front end, which is the primary care, is highly fragmented. And second we found was insurance companies tended to stay away from providing OPD products because they did not have enough infrastructure or faith in the existing market structure. So we decided to basically come up with this, we came up with this concept and decided to consolidate the front end market, sort of corporatize it, where uniform care is provided along with convenient access in a very standardized, very branded, very sort of clean, hygienic format. So we set up our first 10 clinics in Pune, and then we expanded to 30 clinics. So we have Bombay, Bangalore, and Delhi, and our goal is to set up around 500 clinics around the country. But to go back to to answer the earlier question, you will see in the next 3 to 6 months. We're working with several insurance companies to come up with OPD products. So you will have, the express clinics as well as some other providers offering solutions in the OPD insurance space.
So, there's a whole standardization of the OPD business, where actually a non-doctor, in a sense, hires doctors and runs OPD, basically, right? In India, we have this thing about family doctors, and so where does that institution, where is it headed, and how does it compete with the Express Clinic kind of model?
I think family clinics, family doctor is going to be there, but I think so here's an interesting part. So when we started the clinics, one of the big questions was, the person has been living in Pune for last 50 years. He has his doctor next door that he goes to his family goes to, how are we going to compete with that?